Well, hello there. I didn't even plug in my cord. All right, I am back. Oh no! Why do I do this every time? Man, I'm already starting out rough, but you know what? We're showing up. That is what we're doing, and that is actually the theme of today's episode. Series? I don't really know what to call this. I don't really know. I'm wanting to get into podcasting, but I want to trademark the name that I have in the back of my mind. So I decided, hey, I'm just going to start having these open conversations and get used to putting myself out there and talking like I would as if I was on a podcast. Now, it's not perfect, it's a work in progress, and we are trying things, we are learning as we go. And that is what I like about having open conversations, is because it allows us to grow. Now, my YouTube page, my social medias, my branding in general needs a lot of work. I know that. And I know that I am not a teacher of doing that. I'm not trying to teach anyone how to grow on social media. I'm just here to tell you to be yourself because your audience will find you. Now, I say that because I have been successful. I do make more than $2,000 a month doing what I do. Now, do I wish that I made more money? Of course. I am manifesting a rich man that just wants to fulfill a girl's dream of, giving her money. What would I do at that time? I would spend more time in my garden. I definitely would spend a lot more time in my garden. I'm not even joking about that. I will also do more paintings. I've been getting into painting already. Those are just things that I would continue doing. I would go on more hikes and backpacking and just camping in general. I really love just being out in nature. And I mean raw nature. I ain't talking about a camper or a cabin. I like to get out there in a tent. And especially with backpack camping. You gotta pack small. Now, I'm not the type of person that will sleep in a hammock because something about that scares me. Being off the ground, I just feel very vulnerable. Something what's the difference of being on the ground? Anyways, that's not what this is about. What else would I do? I would continue baking. I really love baking and making new recipes and giving them to my neighbors. And I keep thinking if I want to get into selling, but sometimes you just want to have a hobby. I like cooking too, but baking's more my passion. I love to write. I would get serious about writing a book. I would probably just use the internet as my diary. I already kind of do that, but I would just go full throttle and just open up and be myself because why not? I'd be financially taken care of if a rich man that just has some extra money that does not make a dent in their account. You know, I just want to be that girl they invest in. They see something in me. Maybe that's why I'm a goofy girl. I like to entertain. I like to do a wow factor, and I have more recently have been trying to do that with my content. I have been just having fun with it. I literally show my partner all the time this, okay, not all the time. Sometimes I'm like, I don't want to show you what I made. But I am the type of person that I like to communicate with my partner and let him know what I'm doing so that he knows. But I do get squirmy and cringy when I show him the stuff I make, and he supports me. He loves me, and he knows I'm this way. The thing is that I'm showing the internet that I'm this way. If he likes me, if my friends like me, if the coworkers I've met, the acquaintances, the business partners, and all of those people I've come in contact that have stuck around, I think that there is something about me that people like, and I enjoy sharing myself and my journey uh, to the masses. I think that I have a story to tell, and that's why I'm always constantly just continuing to put myself out there, even in a vulnerable state. That is more new to me doing that because I've always been like, I'm an open book, but I'm very selective about what I share with people. And what I do here on YouTube is just a little bit different because I'm having these conversations with you. If you're willing to listen and get to know me, and I appreciate it more than you know. I think I have reached a point where the numbers don't feel real. Like on Twitter, X, I get over 1 million impressions every single month. Just in the past year, I got 23 million, and I'm not exaggerating. I will show you those numbers because I'm not scared, okay? I am not scared to show you the proof. Okay, we're going to do the 1 year and then we'll do 1 month. Oh, wow, the impressions went up. It's actually 27 million. So, ew. So that is based on 1 year. You can tell when I was doing amazing. Summertime dip. It's hard. All right, let's check out the past month. I'm like, this stuff just kind of amazes me. My numbers are up right now, so I am feeling on top of the world. So we got 4 weeks. How do I do it? I'm myself. I make, so okay, let's actually get serious. Let's just be real. What is my strategy on X? I am being myself. I have this rule where I don't just air out all my problems and flaws and insecurities and like I don't complain. Sometimes I will. I allow myself maybe one or two a month, but I do not fixate on it. We move past it. We do not engage with the negative comments. That's not what we're there for. Yes, you're putting yourself out there. You're trying to get people to know you. But that's not the place to be personal. You want to be personal? Get on YouTube. That's what I'm doing. The people that want to know you will find you and they'll look at your links and they'll be like, oh, she has more content. And like, that's also kind of what I've been doing. It's like, I've been separating myself. I used to try to keep everything like, I would just copy paste, and that still works. I still do that. But I do try to experiment and just try different things on different platforms because they're different platforms. Like they work differently. You're not gonna have the winning formula on every single platform. I mean, you might. I don't really know. Look at me. I'm not a top 0% creator. Okay, but on X, I keep it light, and I really only focus on the negative stuff when I'm trying to make an example of something, when I'm trying to let people know what type of person I am. So, like, that might be how I handle a message, or like if somebody sent me something unhinged and I'm just like kind of like a PSA. But otherwise, I go based off what my bio says. What is my bio? Who am I? What am I doing on there? I'm a goofy girl, your favorite goofy girl. And I'm here for entertainment purposes. Ah! And so, to me, I like to joke. I like to make inappropriate jokes. So I lean into that. The other thing I do, because I am a little strategic. We got it. With how I do it. So I try to only post 1 to 2 times a day. And then I focus on commenting and replying and engaging with accounts. And so, and sometimes I really only do one. Like my minimum, I'm the type of person, I'm just doing the bare minimum, okay? I'm not going over the top. I really don't care. I got a lot of social medias I got to take care of. I got marketing. I got to talk to the people. I got to edit videos. I got to make these YouTube videos. And I got other things outside of this that I'm trying to pursue to make extra income. So I'm a busy girl. So at minimum, I always focus on like at least one post on like all platforms. So bare minimum. And on X specifically, I guess I'll kind of like go back and forth. I do try, and I should, because I do see great like engagement with posting pictures every day. But it does also feel like if all I'm doing is posting pictures, I feel like my personality is not shining through. Like, I mean, I can make funny captions and stuff, and I usually do. I always try to like kind of get like a hook or like a question or like, oh, what did she say? Type of thing. Like I made like a post this past week and I was like, do they look swollen? And like, I'm a chubby girl, so people are gonna hate on me. I already know it. I already know it. So I like capitalize on that. Oh, and then I did like a behind the scenes type of stuff. And it was literally me putting lotion on my feet because I know that there's feet guys out there. And it was like a little sneaky way to be like, hey, look at my feet, but also look at me in this weird position trying to apply lotion onto my feet. Because it's like, what is she doing? Because I didn't really say too much, but you know, they used their imagination, which was fun. So I do that. So I'll either, if I'm sticking to my bare minimum, I do like to not post a photo every single day, but like maybe 3 or 4 times a week. And then the rest are post. And then sometimes 2 pictures a week. I really don't like, there's not like I don't have like, maybe I need to, that's what my focus needs to be. I need to actually like, how many pictures am I posting a week? How many posts am I posting a week? Because my engagement is up. I'm seeing a lot of progress here lately in just my statistics overall on everything, like on all my platforms. I'm doing something right here lately, and I need to like be more data driven on it. So I will keep track of that, and I will report back next week how that worked out. So either make a post, I'll make a photo, or I'll do a post and a photo. But like I said, I usually stick to 1 to 2 posts, like 1 to 2 things, like for Twitter. That's all I do. And yeah, and then like I said, I just work on engaging with people and using the platform. I actually use the platform because I don't know, I like to follow some of the political stuff. I'm not a political person by any means, but I do like to stay informed. And I do think that X does have, a lot of information on it. That's kind of like, I mean, I know that it leans a certain way, but it's fascinating in the sense that you're getting to see the other perspective and what they're saying. And I'm just a person that likes to hear both sides. Yeah, and make a decision that way. So that's what I do on X. And then Instagram, I have been working on posting more goofy content and like being myself. And I'm seeing engagement, but I'm not seeing my like follower count move very much. And I will say that it does also seem like my engagement has been like stagnant, which is a little weird. So like on my professional dashboard for a while it kept saying that my stats were up, but then it kept getting lower and lower and it'd say that they were up. I don't know if it had something to do like if there were bots or something messing up my numbers, but I have consistently stayed at about 110,000 views, and I'm reaching non-followers by 55% and followers by 44%. So I'm getting a really good mix of non-followers and followers, but nobody, like I'm not really seeing a huge increase in my follower count. I am starting to see more likes. I would say that like a lot of my reels have been getting on average at least 300 likes, and then some kind of getting close to 900. So things are starting to look really good on Instagram. I'll keep you updated as I really try to focus on my marketing there. I'm a little messy. I'm not even like, I mean, even here, like I do tend to just, it's like, get the content out there. Don't, like, I have been focusing on quantity instead of quality, and I do need to maybe switch that and work on more quality content, because when I do research on other creators, I mean, they look very polished and it's like, oh wow. But also, there's something about looking at my own profile that kind of sets me apart, that feels very amateur like, and I know that people also like that, and I also like kind of being an amateur and just being that average person, that girl next door that's just having fun. And it's also because I'm lazy. And I'm working on that, but it's just like I feel like there's just, I have a lot going on. There's a million things going through my head as I'm just trying to grow in all types of directions. My confidence is at a, like, I'd say an all-time high. I'm feeling really good about myself. And I've, like, I've been, well, you don't know, but I've been going on walks and runs and doing yoga. And I think I'm gonna start like lifting weights. I already eat healthy. I mean, I also drink healthy. This is not really that healthy, but it's because I'm working, okay? Okay. And I did take a break from Red Bulls, but then I kind of came back to it. And my goal really this month is to push for cleaning up my content, like all my videos, my photos, getting everything organized, and using that content, like scheduling it out, and then in the meantime, creating new content. So a strategy that I had when I was almost like, I almost had bragging rights to the 1% of OF creators, but I lost it all because I hurt my elbow back in like the end of December, January, when I was like on my, like, I was having a momentum. And yeah, it just really, it messed my body up, and it messed my mental state up, and I had all these plans and I got totally derailed. And in a weird way, I think it was what I needed, because I wasn't taking care of myself. I was just entertaining and people pleasing, and I found myself back into that like mentality. And I want to put myself first. I'm just being honest. Other than like my partner, like I put my partner second. That's just the truth, okay? And then I put my animals third. I'm not going to tell you which order they are in because there's 5 of them, but I do my best to treat them all as equals, and yeah. I give them all equal love, as much as like I do have my favorites, but I do try. I do try. Um But yeah, I've always really have focused on, like, who is it that I want to be? Like, who do I want to grow up as? What do I want other people to learn from me? I kind of joke that it's like, okay, like, if I'm making a mistake, let me be the example. Because I have watched people make mistakes, and I decided I don't want to do that. I don't want to follow that path. I do have a curious nature, and I do have a really deep belief that I can do anything I put my mind to. And I don't do things that make me uncomfortable. I will always think about how I feel and how I feel in the moment. And I'm never pressured to do anything. It's like, honestly, like, side story. Before I started smoking the grass, I remember when I first got offered it, and when I was like in a group of friends in a ditch. Yeah, that was when I first got offered it. Isn't that like a beautiful painted story? We were in a ditch on the side of the road, and they were all smoking, and I was like, no, no, I don't want to, because I hadn't really thought about it. And I wanted to give it a little bit more thought before I did it. And then I did. And then I did it. And then my sister was like, if you're gonna smoke it, get it from me. And I'm like, these are the lessons I was being taught growing up. but I turned out all right. And so with that said, just because I turned out the way I did, a lot of the people that I grew up with kind of went down the same path that, we were born into. And some people may even say what I do, it's kind of expected. I don't think it's expected. I think it was something I always wanted to do, but I didn't because I wanted to see how far I could get first. And I did. And, I had my challenges and I had stuff that happened in my life. And, I really, I had to deal with depression. I had to come face to face with it multiple times. And I think that for once in my life, like, I have accepted that's something that I have. And I just have learned to recognize the patterns, the behaviors, what leads to, me staying in bed. I have a I have a rule where it's like, don't you can bed rot, but don't bed rot for 2 days in a row. Get up, you know? And that rule has really come in handy. I used to talk about it a lot in like the early videos I made here on YouTube. So if you're genuinely curious about the type of headspace I was in back then, I definitely recommend checking out my old videos. Sometimes I will go back and I'll just click a random video and see what I was like, where I was mentally in the video. And I think that I've changed a lot. I've been taking care of myself, and I feel like just overall, physically, mentally, I'm doing well. And I have to believe that that's going to correlate into everything else I'm doing, and that I'm going to see a spike. I feel it. I believe it. I know it's going to happen. I keep telling myself that we just had to get through this summertime dip. I know that not everyone deals the summer dip in income when you're self-employed, but it is a very real thing. It's a pattern that I recognized when I was doing research on, what I do, and listening to other people teach other people what to do. And so, yeah. And also being friends with creators, they all talk about it. And so I try not to be too hard on myself. I'm not pushing myself like some of these other creators. I don't have, chatters or an assistant. And so I'm not making my money from messages unless somebody wants my attention. I am focused on messaging, but I'm not spending time in there. I'm not reaching out to people. I'm letting them reach out to me. It's kind of one of those things where if you want something, you're going to come to me. I'm not going to persuade you or convince you, but maybe I should. I don't know. Maybe some people like that, but honestly, the reason I haven't is because I've been working on myself and I don't want to take on more than I can handle. So I just do the bare minimum and it works. And I don't beat myself up over it that there's people out there making more money than me and they're, maybe their content is not as good as mine, but hey, they're killing it. It's fine. It's cool. Yeah, I'm jealous. All right, I think I'm gonna wrap it up and get to work on some stuff. I just knew I wanted to make this video so I could stay on top of my Tuesday at 2 p.m. open conversation posting. This is episode number 3. I've done it. Sometimes it feels like, it takes forever to get things going, but just do those small things because they add up. They really do. I know, it's kind of like with weight loss. It takes a long time. Sometimes it takes a year, but don't look at it as taking a year. Just take it month by month. Just get the bare minimum, do what you got to do, and then over time, those little things are going to add up. They always do. All right, guys, thanks for hanging out with me. I always enjoy it. I love that you watch these videos. I don't know if you watch them all the way through or if you log off eventually because maybe I just talk a lot. Sometimes these videos get long. I try not to let them get too long. If you do stick around and if you do enjoy listening to me talk, please give this video a thumbs up And if you haven't already, please subscribe. It's a free way to support this channel, and I love to see that number go up, because when you think of a room, that many people, that's a lot of people. At least it's not zero. That's how I look at it. Somebody's caring. Somebody's watching me. All right, guys. I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.